So we're going to divide, and you're going to say 45 goes into 6, does it? No. So then we say 45 goes into 68. How many times? 1. So we put the 1 above the 8. So we divide. Then we multiply. Well, we watched it a few times. So we're going to multiply 1 times 5. And then we're going to do 1 times 4. Right? And then we subtract. So we do 68 minus 45. So I do 8 minus 5 is 3. Then I do 6 minus 4 is 2. Then what do I do?
Bring it on down. Bring it on down.
Exactly. Bring it on down and bring it on down. And now I have 230. And we divide. So here's the thing. How many times is 45 going to 230? Oh my God, I need that calculator. No, you don't. How many times does about 50 go into 230? We'll make it easier. How many times is 50? 4. How many times does 50 go into 200? How many times does 50 go into 250? So it might be 4 or 5, I'm not sure. So you could try 1 and 5. I'm using a pencil just in case it's the wrong one. So if I try 4, and I say 4 times 5 is 20, so I'm going to bring down that 0. I'm going to carry the 2. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 2 is 18. And then I subtract these slowly. I have 50 left over. If I have a bigger number left over than the number that I'm dividing by, I should have had a bigger number on top. So it's actually not 4. It's 5. Whoops. I'll fix it now. It's 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times, carry the 2, 5 times 2 is 20 plus a 2, that's 22. And then we subtract. So I've got 30 minus 25, 5. And then bring it on down and bring it on down, 59. Then we divide. So 45 goes into 59 how many times? Then we multiply. Subtract. 59, there's 9, and then 45, 5, so that's 14? No, 16? 14. What is it? 14, okay. Now, there's different ways you could write the remainder. You could put a decimal point and keep going, but we're not going to do that for polynomials. So that's one good thing. You could, what's the other ways of writing the remainders besides actually decimalizing and keep going? What's the other one? What? A fraction? What would the fraction be? 14 45ths. That is how we are going to do it. The other way would be just writing like an R, 14, to say remainder 14, but we're not doing that in the high school level. In the high school level, we're making it into a fraction. Okay? We're talking about another one? What's my first step? Divide. So does 16 go into 2? No. 16 go into 28. How many times? Once. Then we multiply. Subtract. What's an 8 for 14? Bring it on down and bring it on down. Now I got kind of harder one. So I could think like, I could think about 20 going into 145. Oh, 12. It is 12. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking correctly and trying to hurry. I should take my time. Maybe later. So what I would think about is how many times maybe 20 goes into 125. Or you could think like time 15s. 15s are quarter hours. You can figure out how many times 15 goes into 125. It would probably be close to 16 going into 125. 2 hours is 120 minutes. 15 goes into an hour and 4 times. 8. Okay, let's try 8. 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 8 times 1, 8 plus 4. 1. Uh-oh. It's not 8, is it? 7. Yeah. It's a good thing we're all using a pencil. So 2, carry the 4, 11. 112. Ooh, I already knew that. 13 is my subtract. And then from there, bring it on down. 16 goes into 135. How many times do you think? Probably 8, because we just did that one. Now I forgot what I had. 128. And subtract it. 2, 5, 7. So we have a remainder of 7. So we put 7 over our divisor of 16. So we have 178 and 7, 16. Okay, you have 4 to try on your own, by yourself. I will come check them. 6, warm up, divide, and simplify the expressions. I'm going to only do this for this one first example. If you forget what to do, you can always say, well, x to the 6 is x times x times x times x times x times x over. This is if you forget what to do. This is what you do if you forget what to do. I don't forget what to do, so I don't have to do it that way. And then from there, you can cancel out 2 of the x's. And what would be our simplified version? X to the 4. So the question was, do we subtract or divide the exponents? Subtract. When you are dividing, you don't also divide the exponents. When you're dividing, you have to do something different to the exponents. Okay, so the next one, I'm not going to expand them out and condense them. I'm just going to use my little trick that if you forget the trick, do it this way to figure it out. First of all, negative 4 is over 1, and I divide just negative 4 divided by 1, I still get negative 4. And then x to the 5th over x squared is x to the 3rd. 10 over 2 is 5. X squared divided by x is x to the 1st. And then number 4, 2 over 1 is 2. X to the 9th divided by x gives me x to the 3. No, because that's not algebra 2. You can say at that level if you stay in, what would that be in? Algebra 1? I think it's even 4 algebra 1. Okay, so we read, it says using long division. And we use long division. And we're going to divide 2x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd plus 5x minus 1 by x squared plus 3x plus 2 before we start. From that long division that we did today, let me go back to that real fast. Remember when there was like a number missing? We had to put that 0 in because 7 next to 5 is totally different than 705. Okay. If I'm adding a 400 and a 5 together, if I'm adding a 400 and a 5, like a 400 and just a 5, I wouldn't have it like this, would I? No, because the 400 place and in the 5 place, there's still a tens place in the middle. So 405 has a 0 in that tens place. When you're doing these, you're not really thinking about places because these aren't numbers, they're terms, but it's just like having a 400 plus a 5. Except for the places are the exponents for the x's. So if I start with x to the 4th, and then I go to x to the 3rd, the next term has to be x to the 2nd, which it's not. Then it's 5x, then it's no x's. So because I don't have an x to the 2nd, I have to put it in. If you don't put it in, you're going to call me over because you're going to be stuck. So we're going to rewrite this in long division form. What I'm dividing by goes outside, so x squared plus 3x plus 2. And then underneath that division symbol, which is not a square root, 2x to the fourth plus 3x to the third plus 0x squared plus 5x minus 1. So you have to have every place from your starting degree all the way down, or you're going to have trouble. Now, what is our first step of long division? Divide. Okay, so when we divide, you actually divide only the first terms. We have to divide x squared into 2x to the fourth. And if you're not sure, off to the side, I'm going to do 2x to the fourth divided by x squared. What do I get if I get 2x to the fourth divided by x squared? Okay, so that, no, what is it? What is it? 2, and then x squared. This becomes 2, and then x to the second. X to the second. Ah, that looks so messy. I was just showing off to you by my favorite erasable color pen. Bought them on Amazon, they're amazing. I should. Actually, these colored pens were sponsored by Project Runway. That's where I heard about them, and I went on and I bought some. Yeah! Well, I can describe. I gotta restart this video. Okay, let's keep going. So we divide. Then what do? No, we divide. Then we multiply. Alright. When you multiply, you do have to multiply 2x squared by all of the terms. Oh my gosh. 2x to the fourth plus 6x to the third plus 4x squared. Divide, multiply, subtract. So I'm going to subtract. But instead of doing subtract, I personally like adding the opposite instead of subtraction. You can add the opposite. So what I'm going to do is when I subtract, when I draw that line, I'm going to change all the signs. Draw the line, change the signs. Because I'm subtracting each of them. So I gave my subtraction sign to each of them. Draw the line, change the signs. Draw the line, change the signs. Now I can actually just think about addition. I can think about 2x to the fourth plus negative 2x to the fourth. But let's cancel out. 3x to the third plus negative 6x to the third. So negative 3x to the third. 0x squared plus negative 4x squared. So negative 4x squared. All right, I subtracted. So what do I do next? Bring it on down, though. Bring it on down. So we have plus 5x squared. Do I bring down two things? No. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now what do we do? Oh, because I'm not paying attention. I mean, I'm trying to make sure you're paying attention. Okay, what's next? What's next? Divide. We're only going to divide the first term of x squared with the first term of negative 3x cubed. And I'll just do that off to the side. Let's see. X squared, negative 3x cubed divided by x squared. The negative 3 over 1 is negative 3. X cubed over x squared is x. Negative 3x. Oh, okay. That's off the screen. Is that? My green doesn't look like green, does it? Okay. So after we divide, then we multiply, and you're going to distribute it. So I'll get negative 3x cubed minus 9x squared minus 6x. Then we subtract. And when I subtract, I just like to individually subtract each term. So if I subtract, that's the same thing as draw the line, change all the signs, and then add them. Draw the line, change the signs. I now have negative 3x cubed plus 3x cubed, that's nothing. Negative 4x squared plus 9x squared is 5x squared. 5x plus 6x is 11x. Then, bring it on down, bring it on down. I distributed the negative 3 times the positive 3x and I got minus 9x squared. And then I changed the sign so I can subtract it. All right, now we have divide. So I'm going to be dividing x squared into 5x squared. What do I get when I divide 5x squared by x squared? I just get 5. Because the x squareds will cancel out. So divide, then we multiply, so we're going to distribute 5 to each of these terms. 5x squared plus 15x plus 10. Subtract. When I subtract, I change all the signs. When I draw the line, I change all the signs so I can add the opposite. So the 5x squareds cancel. I get 11 minus 15, so negative 4x. Negative 1 minus 10 minus 11. And there's nothing else to bring down. That means I have a remainder. So I'm going to write my solution, my quotient. I'm going to write my quotient. I'm going to start by looking on top of the division bar, and I'll have 2x squared minus 3x plus 5, but I have a remainder. And we're going to write it in fraction form, but if you put the fraction just next to the 5, it looks like only 5 has the fraction on it when it's the whole thing. So what to get around that, we put a plus sign. So we've got 2x squared plus, minus 3x plus 5, and we're going to add a fraction on. So we're going to add the fraction of our remainder, negative 4x minus 11, over our divisor, x squared plus 3x plus 2. So same thing we were doing with numbers, only you just have to put the plus sign next to the fraction. And we've divided polynomials. No. Yes, you will have to type it in your number. So you have to use the little fraction thing. The little. This is not much. We'll have time to start over. Okay, let's try another one. Ready? Let's try another one. Ready? Too bad. Let's do it. So we're going to put x to the 4th. And there's something I told you before that you have to remember on your own when you do this. All the places have to be represented. And right now I have x to the 4th, and then it jumps to x to the 2nd. I'm allowed to jump from x to the 4th to x to the 2nd. So we need 0, x to the 3rd in there. Then we have plus 2x squared, then minus x plus 5. Outside, I have x squared minus x plus 1. So the first thing we're going to do is divide. We're going to do x to the 4th divided by x squared. So x to the 4th divided by x squared. How many times? What does this equal? It equals x squared. Then we distribute that x squared to all of those terms out there. So x to the 4th minus x to the 3rd plus x to the 2nd. when you draw the line, change your signs. Draw the line, change the sign. And then we'll add them together. So those will cancel. I'll get x to the third, because 0 plus 1 is 1. And then I'll have plus x to the second. Then I'll bring it on down and bring it on down. What's x? When we do it again, divide. X to the second goes into x to the third. So if you're not sure, put x to the third over x to the second and say, reduce that. What do I have left over when I reduce it? What do I have left over when I reduce it? X, right? So then I distribute, I get x to the third minus x squared plus x. Draw the line, change the signs. Add them. So x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. Negative x plus negative x is negative 2x. Bring it on down. And we divide. X squared goes into 2x squared. What's that equal? 2x squared divided by x squared. What's that equal? 2. Multiply. So 2x squared minus 2x plus 2. Subtract. Draw the line. Change the signs. Those cancel. These cancel. I just get 3. Oh, I'm sorry. I just get 3 for my remainder. So there's nothing else to bring it down. That means I'm done. I'm going to write my quotient of x squared plus x plus 2. Then I have to add on my remainder of in fraction form plus 3 over x squared minus x plus 1. Oh, and I'm off the screen, sorry. That would be our answer, our quotient. So organization, key. Organization, stay organized. Let's turn it over. I want to do one more with you, and then you got 3 to try on your own. I'm going to actually do number 2 with you. Is it a smart idea to do this stuff in pen? No. You know what happens if you do this stuff and you like make one mistake right here? Everything else is wrong. So, alright, number 2. I'm going to go ahead and set that up like division with the bar. And underneath I've got x to the third, so that means I need every single power after that. So I have minus x squared, or x squared, but I need plus 0x, and I need the constant also. I need all of those spaces, all those places. And then outside, I need all of the places too. So I have x squared minus 16. What am I missing on the outside? 0x. So that's x squared minus 0x minus 16 on the outside. So I'm going to divide. X squared goes into x to the third. Well, that's x. And then we multiply. So 0 times anything is still 0. And then draw the line, change the signs. I now have negative 4x squared plus 16x, bring down 0. Do I really have to bring down 0? I would. Then I'm going to do divide again. So x squared goes into negative 4x squared. Let me put that at the top. Negative 4x squared divided by x squared. What does that give me? A negative 4. So I have to put a minus 4 up here. So when I distribute, I'm distributing by a negative 4. And negative 4x squared, anything times 0 is still 0. And then positive 64. Draw the line, change the signs. Add it together. 16x minus 64. Is there another power of x to bring down? Now, nothing else to bring down, so what does that tell me? That's my remainder. So I'll write my quotient as x minus 4 plus my remainder, 16x minus 64, over my divisor, which I'm going to write as its original form, x squared minus 16. Okay, so do one. There's 3 of them. We're going to do all 3. You pick whatever one you want to start with. There isn't like a certain order of what's harder or not harder. We'll do one, we'll take a brain break, then we'll do the other 2.